Good morning, student. So let's start with another group of the plants under ecological anatomy. So the first slide is showing two pictures of the different plants. One is Rhizophora and other is Salicornia europea. Can you guess with respect to the ecological anatomy to which group of uh, category of these plants are? So no idea. So can you guess that where are these plants growing? Yes, these plants are growing near seashore. So what kind of the habitat is there near seashore? Yes, very good. It is the salt rich area. The concentration of the salt is very high. So these plants which are growing in the salt rich areas, these plants are called halophytes. So Rhizophora and Salicornia europea, these plants are group of the plants which are growing in the salt rich area, hence these are called halophytes. So moving to next slide. So few another examples of the halophytes are Spartina glabra, Rhizophora micronata and Avicennia. So from where this word halophyte come from? This word is derived from the Greek words. Combination of the two Greek word, one is the halos and other is phyton. As we know the phyton means plant and halos means salt. So salt loving plants. So these plants, you will find these plants near the seashore where the mesophytes and the hydrophytes, they cannot thrive well. So what do you think? They have the sufficient amount of the water? There is no deficiency of the water for these plants? Of course. Although these plants are growing in high amount of water, these plants cannot absorb that water. So this means that this water is not available for these plants. Why it is not available? Because the concentration of the salt is very high in the soil. So when the plants they require to absorb the water from the soil, the concentration of the water should be less in the soil. So here the condition is the reverse. The concentration of the water is high. So water cannot move from the soil into the root cell. So these plants are growing in the habitat which is physically wet. Mean there is enough amount of water but physiological dry. Physiological dry means they cannot absorb that water. So this statement you can easily correlate with the song that I remember that song मेरे नैना सावन भादो फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा. So मेरे नैना सावन भादो, I have sufficient amount of the water but I cannot absorb it. So another important characters of the halophytes. So because there is the deficiency of the water, so these halophytes, these group of the plants will develop all those adaptations which typical xerophytic plants has. So the habit, regarding their habit, these plants, they are most of the plants, they are herbaceous, few are the shrub. And moving toward the morphological adaptation, so we will study all the adaptation systematically, starting from the root, stem, leaves, fruits. So all the parts are modified so that these plants can thrive well in their habitat which is containing high salt. So the soil is muddy, the soil is sandy, the soil is loose. So these plants, they have the shallow normal root system, but this root system cannot hold the plant to the substratum well. Now what kind of the adaptation these plants develop? These plants, they develop additional roots. These are called the stilt roots. From the picture you can see that the bunch of the roots, slanting roots, they are growing from the basal part of the stem and they are growing obliquely and ultimately penetrating to the soil. So these roots are holding the plants like the tent of the ropes, so providing sufficient support to the plants. These roots are called stilt roots. Another kind of the roots are the root buttresses. So these roots also develop from the basal parts of the tree trunks, and they are heavily branched, they are very densely growing, providing additional support to the plant so that the plants they do not topple down in the loose and the muddy soil. So one more adaptation in these plants, as we know, the water is present in the soil, and the soil, you can say, it is waterlogged. Waterlogged soil means there are the pores in the soil present which are called the macropores, and these macropores are meant to hold the water and air. Now what happens? The space which is meant for the air, that space is occupied by water, so there is no space for the air. So how the roots will breathe in such kind of the habitat? Any idea? Okay, so let's discuss about this concept, that how the roots will breathe in the water where there is no air. Now what will happen? From the horizontal roots, the roots which are growing in the soil, the normal tap roots which are growing in the soil, from the surface of those roots, some aerial roots develop. These aerial roots which are growing out of the soil, these are negatively geotropic but positively phototropic, means growing toward the light and away from the gravity. So these aerial roots are called pneumatophores or breathing roots. Next picture, the next slide will show you the enlarged image of the pneumatophore. Here you can see the vertically growing aerial roots growing out of the soil. These roots are called pneumatophores. Now how the plants they breathe with the help of the pneumatophores? These pneumatophores on the surface, they have small lenticels. Lenticels mean pores. Pores are present on the surface of these breathing roots, these pneumatophores. With the help of lenticels, the exchange of the gases take place. So this is the mechanism that how the plants will respire, how the plants with how the roots will breathe by using these lenticels. Okay, so let's now, this is all about the root system. So in the root system, they have the stilt roots, they have the root buttresses, and they have pneumatophores. So there are three different types of the adaptations which are present in the roots. Now the stems, they are succulents. Most of the halophytes they have the succulents. Succulents means the water storing organ. Now the leaves, no, we know that the most of the water is lost through the leaves by the transpiration. So slow down that process. The halophytes, they have the thick leaves. They have the succulent leaves, water storing leaves. Leaves are small size. The glassy in appearance. So what is the meaning of the glassy in appearance? What the glassy leaves will do for the plant? The glassy surface will reflect the light, because more the light, more the transpiration, and more will be the loss of the water. So when the surface is glassy, there is the reflection of the light, so there is the less heating of the leaf, so the transpiration will be less. Now in spite of that, in addition to that, the leaves are covered with the dense hair called the trichomes. Again, trichomes are meant to reflect the sunlight. So you can see that the entire, all the adaptations in the leaves are meant to store the water or to reduce the loss of the water through transpiration. So through the transpiration, how the leaves can reduce the loss of the water? They can develop the trichome. Their appearance is glassy. They are thick to conserve the water. So when there is a dry condition, they do not undergo wilting. So you can see that how the leaves smartly they are facing the dry condition. They are lowering the rate of transpirations by adapting themselves to certain kind of the characters. Now let's move toward the fruits. Now, as we know, the halophytes, they are growing in the tidal marsh, and their very important phenomena is known as the vivipary. Now, what is the vivipary? Now, again, there is the salt, very high salt concentration in the soil. Now, as we know, for the regular seed germination, the first process for the seed germination is the entry of the water by the osmosis. Now, again, we know the water cannot enter the seed. So there will be no germination of the seed if it fall directly into the soil. Now what happen? The seed is very smart. Seed complete its partial germination while it is still attached to the fruit. So you can see in the picture, while the fruit is still attached to the plant, there is the emergence of the radicle, and this emergence of the radicle shows that the seed has undergone partial germination while it is still enclosed in the fruit. So when it has reached to that point, means the radicle, small part of the radicle has come out at this stage. Now the seed will fall on the ground, and rest of the germination it will complete in that salt rich habitat. So this phenomena, this partial, this the germination of the seed while it is still attached to the parent plant, this process is called vivipary. This is very important for the plants, for the halophytes, where the soil is containing high concentration of salt, because the soil is not fit for the seed germination. So the seeds, they complete some part of their germination process while still they are attached to the fruit, and then they fall on the ground and complete the remaining germination there. So this is called the viviparous mode of seed germination. Okay, so this already we have discussed. So just a recap of this topic regarding the morphological adaptations in the halophytes, what we have studied today. We have studied the modifications in their roots. They have the stilt or the prop roots. They have the root buttresses. Both these modifications, they are meant to provide the extra support to the plant. Pneumatophores are meant for exchange of the gases, and the vivipary is the mode of the seed germination where the seed completes its germination while it is still attached to the parent plant. So you can see that how smartly, how beautifully these halophytes, they have developed the various adaptations so that they can adapt, they can survive well in their habitat in which they are growing. Okay, so with this we will finish this topic, halophytes. So next time we will study the another category of the ecological anatomy of the plants.